Shall we go take a look at the lunch? Yeah. Fantastic. Thanks. See you, man. You too. Where we get our direct feedback. We don't. So that's part of the reason we were shut down. Keep that one.
You have to be pretty creative to make that happen.
Okay, we're good to go now. The majority of people have gotten or had the opportunity to get vaccinated. I think it's super important for those who haven't still gotten vaccinated to go out and just kind of protect everyone that they know and love.
3/4 of the adults have been vaccinated now in the state. That's really good.
It's fantastic.
That's close to herd immunity. Now we got to work on the young people.
Yeah, well, I think
20-something. That's a tough age group.
as long as they're 21 plus, I think your Drinks on Us program should go
I
a
hope
long
that
way
works.
to make sure that it gets us out there. And the fact that you're going to the ballpark and saying, hey, you get free tickets, there's just a lot of opportunity out there for you to get people through the door with a little bit of a carrot dangle.
Yeah, you don't want to be the one loser who has to pay for it. School frosty.
I love the cool frosty.
I don't know where that came from.
Well, it's coined. I believe we have a t-shirt floating around for you after this is all over that says it.
So how'd you get all this started? I mean,
My wife
you
and I
just like to drink beer? You said let's do a brewery?
So we went to school in Rochester, New York. I'm actually from Stonington, Connecticut. I was born and raised here in Connecticut. Went away to school, came back. I was working in accounting at the time. Didn't really love my day job, but I loved drinking good craft beer. So I ended up in the industry, so to say, and came up with a harebrained idea, conned my wife here to take all of our savings and plow it into a tiny little brew house in Stonington, and we just strapped along and made it happen. But we've been helped along the way by numerous programs like offered by the DECD, the matching grant programs that the state offers. When you hire additional employees, there's opportunity out there to be able to grow while also employing new people. So we've worked with Sector, Southeastern Connecticut Enterprise Region extensively at this point to make sure that we're able to grow and stay here in Connecticut.
I had my last beer about 30 years ago. It was a Bud. I said no more, never again. Until a few years ago when I started drinking the fresh brewed. What a difference. What a difference it is.
Absolutely. None of our beer is pasteurized or filtered. It's all naturally conditioned, and it comes out crystal clear when we want it to be, hazy when those who want it to be hazy. So we've got a numerous amount, and we distribute statewide. So during the pandemic, just being able to get out to the package stores and make sure that the shelves were stocked and people could get our product at home
And it was selling,
a
wasn't it?
lifesaver. Oh yeah, it was like Christmas every day.
Yeah. We call the package stores an essential business. I got a little brief about that. I think it was pretty helpful.
I'm sure you did. For us, it's essential. It definitely kept all of our employees here on payroll and made sure we could keep going.
I think a lot of parents would agree that helped them through the process.
But to talk about their experiences during the pandemic. Aaren and Precious?
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Much appreciated.
Great to be able to shake hands
I love
again.
that we can shake hands again and not have a mask here. I think today can be summed up in 2 words. We're open. It's finally happened. This was a dream of ours about a year and a half ago when the pandemic hit, to open and bring the public into our tap room here in Groton, Connecticut. It was interesting that 6 weeks later we had to pivot, shut down, and kind of do curbside deliveries only. Today we're able to offer inside and outside seating, no mask. If you want to wear a mask, that's fantastic. All of our servers are masked here in our Groton location, and we're ready to get back to business and bring the team back together and really see the public in a meaningful way. It's been a strange year where I haven't seen friends in the industry other than a Zoom call here and there. So it's nice to not have to appropriately light your face and make sure your mic is working properly. So again, we have to thank the state of Connecticut for helping us through this pandemic via several different programs, continuing to help us get back to full staff via several programs there, and then making sure that the public out there is going for their vaccine, because that's the single most important thing you can do to make sure that this new life as we know it remains the same. So take advantage of the Drinks on Us program. Get out there, get your cool Frosty, and hopefully it's here with us in our Groton or Stonington location. And again, thank you to the governor, and I look forward to kind of continuing through the summer and having a good time. Cheers.
I should acknowledge that I was here for their soft opening. I think I owe that for full disclosure. Next up, we have the Department of Consumer Protection. I just want to acknowledge how thoughtful and flexible DCP was during the course of the pandemic, creating opportunities, exploring ways to allow businesses to stay open, to create new streams of revenue, look through their regulations and statutes, to be creative in order to keep Connecticut businesses going through all of this, but then also adapting and understanding what we learned during the course of the pandemic and how we could carry that forward. And to speak on that today, we have the Consumer Protection Commissioner, Michelle Seagull.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon. As he said, I'm Michelle Seagull, Commissioner for the Department of Consumer Protection, and we're really excited. Thank you for inviting us to be here. This is really a great celebration of the great work and leadership of the governor and everybody in Connecticut getting vaccinated. And we're really excited to see businesses reopen. Really the best thing for consumers is to have a vibrant, well-working, competitive marketplace. That's where you get the best prices, the best service, really the best options. And so we're excited to see Connecticut opening back up again and look forward to be able to work with all our businesses again as we return to normal. So thank you again for having us.
Next, we have Phil from the Connecticut Brewers Guild. And I want to acknowledge we've got a couple of trade organizations here today. And the role that they played in being facilitators, coordinators, sharing lessons learned and the challenges that their members were facing and asking for ways to address it. Understanding that during the course of the pandemic there were limitations as to what could be done, but willing to explore those possibilities and be a trusted advisor during the course of this was really important to make sure that we could service their needs, their customer needs, but also make sure that these businesses stuck around during the course of the pandemic to emerge on the other side. And so next up we have Phil Pappas, who is the Executive Director of the Connecticut Brewers Guild. Phil.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
Best job on the planet right here.
Absolutely. Well, welcome everyone. As Brian spoke to, the Executive Director of Connecticut Brewers Guild, the leading trade association that oversees all of Connecticut's 120 craft breweries. It was only a few years ago we grew from 43 to 120, and we still have more in the planning process. So we're extremely fortunate for the leadership of Connecticut to be a leader in the nation in the vaccination rates. And as Aaren spoke to, if you aren't out there, please go ahead and get vaccinated so you can come back and visit all of our great breweries across the state. This is the light at the end of the tunnel that we've been waiting for over a year now, and it's here, and we couldn't ask for a better day to be here at the grand opening of Beer'd Brewing in Groton. And we launched our Connecticut Beer Trail app, which gives you all the information about the breweries last year in June. Couldn't have picked a better time to roll that program out. So we have really great incentives to get people out there, but as well as the Connecticut Drinks on Us program. Through the leadership of the state as well as the federal congressional leaders and our state and local, we've been navigating a lot of this pandemic and operating in very unique ways, from different curbside pickup options, drive-throughs. It's been a very interesting year, and we're very excited to welcome back larger groups of consumers back to our tap room. So get out there, visit a brewery this weekend, enjoy a cool Frosty. We love that phrase. We're coining it and going for it. So thank you, Governor. Appreciate that very much. And we're just very excited to be here where we are and continue to grow. So thank you, everybody, and cheers.
Thank you, Phil. The next guest we have here today is also a co-host. Mystic Cheese started as an innovative cheese production facility on a storage container located on a dairy farm. So if you talk about being in isolation for a year, we've got the guy who understands that better than most. Bryan Civitello just recently announced that he's reopening the Mystic Cheese Company cafe and able to serve here in the Groton location again. Wonderful product, has been able to expand his sales during the course of the pandemic, but looking forward to coming back and serving Connecticut consumers and producers. So, Bryan.
Thank you. I think when people think cheese, they might think Wisconsin or Vermont, but we've got some really vibrant cheese producers and a cheese community here in Connecticut. We've been part of that community for 8 years, and we recently expanded about a year ago and joined a wall with two of my best friends and two of my biggest heroes in the beer world, Aaren and Precious of Beer'd Brewing. So together we built this brand new building, and we have a cafe where you can get amazing grilled cheese sandwiches, cheese and charcuterie boards, and we're happy to open the doors to people across Connecticut once again. And I'd like to thank the State of Connecticut for all the programs that have helped us get through the pandemic up until this point. And we're really looking forward to having an amazing holiday season with some amazing Connecticut cheddars. So we hope to see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Bryan. The Connecticut farm wine industry is one of the fastest growing segments of Connecticut agriculture. We missed the opportunity, as the governor kept mentioning cold frosties, to talk about frosés. We should have tried to lobby that a little bit more often. But next up, we have Jonathan Edwards of Jonathan Edwards Winery in North Stonington, but also the president of the Connecticut Vineyard and Winery Association, which was another one of those great communicators and coordinators during the course of this. So, Jonathan.
Just a quick thank you to Commissioner Hurlburt for keeping the Connecticut ag industry strong. I think during COVID it never became more clear that the importance of Connecticut agriculture and having our farms viable, trying to get our farm goods out to the people. And we were pleased to as an industry to kind of stay strong during COVID. I think we were one of the few industries that didn't really have to lay off people hard when you have a farm, grapes, manufacturing, and a commercial enterprise all together. You kind of have to keep your staff intact. And so the farm wine industry, although certainly kind of rocked a little bit by COVID like anybody else, I think we're coming out really strong. We're a great place to come out, visit. Obviously, we have wonderful wines. A lot of wineries now, due to some new programs with the Craft Cafe permit, are also serving beers. We're happy to also serve Mystic Cheese. So if you want to have good local food, beer, wine, and those type of products, please come and visit your Connecticut farm wineries. We're all over the state, and we also are releasing a new app this year for our passport program that we do through the Wine Development Council, so stay tuned for that. And hats off to the governor for doing a great job keeping us safe during COVID. I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. The Connecticut restaurants were one of the hardest hit industries during the course of this, but the industry made a decision, a thoughtful decision, to work with the state and work through this together and make sure that they had flexibility, that we knew where flexibility could be provided and how to make sure that the restaurant industry could emerge. And next up we have Scott Dolch, the Executive Director of the Connecticut Restaurant Association, who was a terrific partner and champion for the industry during the course of this. Scott.
I guess to start off, I just want to thank Bryan and Michelle and the governor. I think Phil said it before. I mean, it's a great day. It's a celebration of 14 months of how challenging this has been, and to see the light is actually here. To see it, our neighboring peers that have already texted me to congratulate the fact that we've lifted all business restrictions and we're trying to get beyond this for our businesses. It's also great to see Aaren and Jonathan and Bryan and these Connecticut businesses, and being here on behalf of the restaurants, but really on behalf of hospitality. We have so many incredible Connecticut businesses that we want to get back on their feet, and today is that start to that post-COVID. So appreciative to be here. Aaren, thank you so much for the tour and your insight, and obviously Phil with the Brewers Guild. So excited, and obviously the other thing to mention as we talk about is Connecticut Drinks on Us, as we celebrate over 73%, I believe, of adults in Connecticut have received their first shot of the vaccine. And to help celebrate that, we have over 300 restaurants, I think over a dozen breweries that are working with us together and with the tourism and DCD to give anybody that's had a vaccine shot, whether you had it in January or you had it a week ago, you can receive a drink on the restaurant, on the brewery, with the purchase of food. So appreciative of the governor for putting that partnership together with us, and we look forward to reopening. So thank you so much.
The next speaker we have is from the host community, who I'm sure is looking forward to attracting residents from around the state and from our neighbors to join us and support his local community, the Groton Mayor Keith Hedrick. He may be still in the brewery. So we'll pass. The cold frosty was too appealing. That's just a joke. I'm not sure where the mayor is, but I'm sure he's doing serious business. He's in church. The last speaker we have here today really doesn't need much of introduction. He has been going around the state, been available on daily press conferences, making sure to communicate well with the residents of the state as to what we were doing in response to the pandemic, where we thought we were going, and how each individual could take responsibility and make sure that they emerge from the pandemic as strong as possible as well. The governor's just been there listening, leading, and accepting the challenges and the changes to make sure that Connecticut emerged and had a day like today to celebrate a lot earlier than other states in the nation. And so it's an honor and a pleasure to introduce Governor Ned Lamont to the stage today.
Yep, we can shake again. I love it. I was just struck in the last few hours, how this last year impacted people. Before we talk about just reopening, what that means here at Beer'd Brewery, what that means for people socializing and getting back together. I was just at the graduation of the Coast Guard Academy, where President Biden was the keynote speaker, and we were just reminded last year there was no graduation. Last year, 400 young graduates virtually were told, okay, you're off to the Persian Gulf, you're off to Bahrain, you're off to the South China Sea, and without a goodbye, they were gone, off to serve their country. So the first thing the Commandant did was, thank the class of 2020, and thank God for the class of 2021. They were able to have a real graduation today. And of course, the final scene is right out of Top Gun, where all the hats are flying in the air, everybody's cheering. Then I got to sit behind as they each get their assignment on where they're going to serve their country. And that was something they weren't able to do last year. So that's why this day is particularly big. It's big because we've all, in our own way, realized what a tough year it's been. The guy in there with the Grateful Dead t-shirt, what a long, strange trip it's been. And it's just wonderful that our restaurants, our bars are open. We can be outside, inside. You don't have to wear the mask. Inside, if you haven't been vaccinated yet, you better wear the mask. So get vaccinated. And as Scott mentioned, we've got the Drinks on Us. That's starting up. So you don't have food here yet, do you, Aaren? So maybe get together with Mystic Cheese. Put a little something together here. Get the cheese meal going. But if you order a meal, you get a free drink, assuming you've been vaccinated. But you got to be vaccinated. Don't get the jab. You may get stuck with the tab. So that's what we're going to make sure it doesn't happen. That's how we're doing everything we can. We got almost 75, almost 3/4 of our people vaccinated right now. It's the younger folks, 20, 30-year-olds. We got to work a little harder to convince them how important it is. And that's how this is going to be an amazing summer going forward and a really good fall. I think we've turned the corner. Now it's time not only for you to come back out and come to the brewery and get a fresh, cool Frosty, but it's also time to get back to work. And we were talking with the president about everything he did with his rescue plan is about getting people back to work. A, making people feel safe and making it easier for everybody to get vaccinated. B, women have been particularly hard hit by layoffs and losing their job and not being able to go back to work because schools were closed, no child care. So it's really important. We're opening up child care, free to everybody that can't afford it, opening up our summer camps, summer learning camps, making it easier for your kid to get back in the game, and also easier for a parent, a single mom, to be able to get back to work as well. We did the minimum wage, make sure that work pays, and starting Monday, we have the $1,000 signing bonus for the first 10,000 people to get a job. Those who have been unemployed long-term for a while. This pandemic goes back 14 months. A lot of people have been unemployed for 14 months. And this is your chance. This is your chance to learn a new skill. This is your chance to, A, get vaccinated, get back in the game, and get a $1,000 signing bonus, make it a little more affordable for you to get back to work. I think it's a great day. It's a day that's been a long time coming. I like to think we're going to have no more false starts, that we're going full speed ahead. And in the meantime, what I'd urge each and every one of you to do out there in TV land is come visit Connecticut. Come visit Connecticut. Come to one of our amazing breweries. Come to our amazing cheese shop. Come to one of our wineries. Come to one of our great restaurants. Come to hospitality and stay for a few days. It's well worth doing. We're going to be promoting the state. I hope you do as well by telling your friends what a great day it is. Thanks, everybody.
Again, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Do we have some time for questions, Governor? Sure. Any questions from the group here?
Governor, can you say what your discussion was with President Biden, and did he make any special commitments for Connecticut?
He didn't make any special commitments for Connecticut, but he kind of likes Connecticut. He keeps taking our commissioners, so he likes the guys who work for us. I didn't bring that up, actually. No, we just said how important the American Rescue Plan is to getting people back to work. And talk about it not just as a social service to help folks, but it's also a way to help them get back in the game, back to work. And by being able to take care of kids, by being able to have the certificate program so you can learn a new skill. I told them about the $1,000 signing bonus. All ways that we edge people back into the workforce. It's so important, especially now.
And Democrats have said they're pushing forward with a budget plan that would include taxes on the wealthy. Would you consider vetoing that?
I would. Look, you don't raise taxes when you don't need to raise taxes. And thanks to the American Rescue Plan, we have $6 billion coming into the state, taking care of the folks most in need and helping people get back to work. So I really want to work with the legislature on how we make that investment particularly effective for folks who have been left behind. Thanks, everybody.